David Hartley, 57, stood alone in his 42nd floor corner office. Outside, the city lights of his successful real estate empire glittered, a tribute to 30 years of relentless work. But the view felt empty. Since his wife passed, David had traded his home for the office, working late to avoid the crushing silence of his penthouse. It was nearly 6 p.m. when his assistant, Margaret, buzzed the line. "Mr. Hartley, there's an unusual situation at reception." "A child, sir. She says she's here about the housekeeping position. She says her mother is sick." David frowned. "A child? How old?" "About 5 or 6. She's quite insistent." A flicker of curiosity mixed with deep concern hit him. "Send her up," he decided, a choice he couldn't rationally explain. "I'll speak with her." 5 minutes later, the door opened to the most extraordinary little visitor. Golden blonde curls tumbled over the shoulders of a blue shirt and dark leggings. What truly stopped David was the white apron. It was clearly an adult size, wrapped multiple times around her tiny frame. In her hand, she clutched a crumpled piece of paper, a document of ultimate importance. She walked right up to his massive desk, lifted her chin, and with a voice that trembled only slightly, spoke. "Hello, sir. My name is Chloe Martinez. I'm here about the housekeeping job." David came around the desk and knelt down, a movement his knees protested, but his heart insisted upon. "Hello, Chloe. I'm David. It's very nice to meet you." Up close, he could see the worry, the shadows under her young eyes. "Mommy has a really bad fever," Chloe explained, her lower lip catching between her teeth. She was supposed to come for the interview, but she couldn't get out of bed. "She was crying because we really need this job." Chloe held up the crumpled paper. "I brought her resume, and I wore her apron so you'd know I'm serious." David's protective wall, built since his wife's death, cracked. "That was incredibly thoughtful, Chloe, and very brave. How did you get here?" "I took the bus," she said simply. "Mommy taught me. Which one goes downtown?" I left her a note so she wouldn't worry. David's throat tightened. This child had navigated the busy city alone because she'd seen her mother's tears. He gestured to a leather chair. "Please, sit. Tell me about your mother." Chloe climbed up, her feet dangling. "Her name is Maria Martinez. She's really good at cleaning. She works at the hospital at night and cleans houses during the day, but one family moved away. Now we don't have enough money for rent." Tears began to roll, but her voice remained steady. "Mummy says we might have to leave our apartment." "I don't want to lose our home, Mr. David. I want to help my mommy." David felt his own eyes burn. He thought of his own son, safe and carefree at that age. This child's courage was a punch to the gut. "May I see your mother's resume?" Chloe carefully handed over the wrinkled paper. It was a simple, neatly typed document. 15 years of experience, glowing references, but at the top, 2 lines made David's vision blur. "Single mother to Chloe, age 6. My daughter is my everything." "Your mother wrote that you're her everything," David said, pointing to the words. "She tells me that every day," Chloe whispered, fresh tears spilling. "She says we're a team. But I can't help her. I'm too little to work." "Oh, sweetheart," David said, squeezing her hand. "You are helping right now. You sew it up. You prove to me the kind of character your mother has, the kind no amount of money can buy." Hope dawned in Chloe's blue eyes. "Does that mean ... Mommy gets the job?" David smiled, a genuine smile for the first time in months. "First, we call your mother to tell her you're safe. Then, yes, I think we can help each other." They reached Maria. Her voice was thick with fever and panic. "Oh, God. Chloe. Where are you? I woke up and saw your note." David took the phone. "Mrs. Martinez, this is David Hartley. Your daughter is safe. She came to interview for you, and she made an excellent case." He paused for impact. "Mrs. Martinez, I'd like to offer you a position. Not housekeeping, but a managerial role, overseeing all housekeeping staff across our residential properties. It comes with a full salary, benefits, and an apartment in one of our buildings. Silence. Then a shaky eye.
What?
Your daughter showed me something important today, David said, watching Chloe happily swing her feet. She showed me what kind of person you must be to raise a child with that much love and courage. That's the character I want in my company. Maria broke down completely, crying so hard she couldn't speak. David drove Chloe home that evening. Maria met them at the door, still weak, but tears of relief streamed down her face as she hugged her daughter. "Thank you," she whispered to David. "For seeing her. For seeing us." "Thank you," David replied, "for reminding me what's important." In the years that followed, Maria thrived, eventually becoming director of operations and setting up programs to help other single parents. Chloe became David's special consultant, joining him for dinner meetings and offering thoughtful advice he actually implemented. His lonely penthouse filled with laughter when Chloe and his own grandchildren played together during visits. On the 5th anniversary of her visit, David raised a glass. 5 years ago, a little girl in an oversized apron walked into my office and changed my life. She reminded me that courage comes in all sizes, and that the best business decision you can make is simply to see people, truly see them, and recognize their worth. David thought of his late wife, Grace, who had always said the greatest gift is witnessing each other's humanity. Chloe had made sure he saw Maria's, and in doing so, she had saved him from becoming a lonely, empty man. The framed, wrinkled resume on his desk, a reminder that the most important decisions are made not in boardrooms, but in moments of choice. Chloe Martinez had walked into his office carrying hope, and David had found his way back to the man he was meant to be. Sometimes, the biggest blessings come in the smallest sizes.